Hi guys, this is my first sort of book promotion video. Not really a rant, but more of a yay, you should read these. But one thing you need to know about me first is that I like variety. I read a lot of books, new books. I'm always reading new things because I like to learn new things, and I have this habit of remembering the most minute details of things that I'm interested in reading about or in fact watching. So I'm always watching new movies, new shows, reading new books. So for me to buy a series of books or a book or even, to buy a movie, it has to be something that I find super, something that I'll watch or read over and over again. Because yay, it's great. So the first ones that I want to talk to you about are called the Mortal Instrument series by Cassandra Clare. It's somewhat of a phenomenon, I think. Well, let's start with this. City of Bones. Right now it is also a motion picture. So you could check that out, but honestly, let me know what you think. If you've not read the book first and you see the movie, tell me what you think about it. If it was easy to follow or a bit difficult. Because there's a lot of information in the book, and you're trying to translate that all quickly into a movie. And plus, personal rant, they screwed up a lot of characters in that movie. I love the guy that plays the main character, well, Jace, in these books. He's totally hot in the books, and I really like the guy that plays him in real life. Couldn't tell you the guy's name, but he's pretty and he has longish hair, and I like longish hair, so that pretty much pops me right into it. And I've actually watched this guy before because I saw something about King Arthur TV show, and I saw it on Netflix, and there was this really cute guy, so I watched it. So I've watched this actor before, and he's really good, and he portrays the character very well. But really, the series focuses on a girl who realizes that she's more than just a normal person. In fact, in this book they call them mundanes. The reason this book is really set others apart from me is that though I enjoy mystical books and whatnot, you see all these vampire, werewolves, human love triangles, and this poor girl who can't decide between this really hot guy or this really hot guy, and you get so freaking sick of it. But there's all sorts of movies that incorporate that. The thing that I think really sets this one apart is it has it features a superior race called Shadowhunters. And basically what they are is Nephilim. And if you don't know what Nephilim is, it's a combination of angels and humans. So they're kind of like sons and daughters of angels. And so they have superior abilities, and so you have that whole cool thing right there with that. And though you've had Nephilim in movies and books before, the thing that I think is really great about this is that they incorporate using runes, magical runes that they scar. Well, it does scar, but they carve it into their skin that gives them even more powers, which could vary from seeing very far to healing to, being fearless. And so that's really cool. I mean, you definitely have your vampires, your werewolves, your warlocks, your fairies, and so forth. But, it's good. I like the Shadowhunters. I'm not sure if I've really seen that concept before. I mean, yeah, you have runes, and yeah, you have Nephilim, but putting them both together, I'm not really sure if I've seen that before, and I really like the combination. It gives you a whole new race of creatures that aren't the same old usual stuff. Let's see. Well, it starts off with these 3 books, The City of Bones, and then you have the City of, gotta grab the book, Ashes, and the City of Glass, which all incorporate a main character, Clary, right. I did know that, but there's another series of books that I love, and the girl's name is ridiculously from like this nearly the same, so I always get them mixed up. So Clary Frey is the main character of these books, and it's sort of a coming into yourself storyline. There's, you know, some romance, but not like ick romance. You know, it's a young adult book, so it's kind of like you have that tension that you're like, do it, do it, do it, but it's a young adult book. So, anyways, so these all incorporate a storyline about a Shadowhunter gone bad, trying to make a superior race of Shadowhunters and wipe out all the people that they deem beneath them. So it's, you know, save the Shadowhunter race kind of book. Well, you find that the 2 main characters are something even more than Shadowhunters, and they have powers that are insane, which is something that I love, because the coming into a power story is wicked. I mean, in any sort of movie or book, I always say, you know, quoting the A-Team here, I love it when a plan comes together. And it's sort of the same thing. I love it how you have your character and they start having insane powers that keep developing until you have like, ooh, badass, ooh. You know what I mean? I'm just getting excited right thinking about it. Love it when a plan comes together. And so these characters are gaining powers, and by the end, they're just like, bam! Now, the whole Mortal Instruments series actually goes for 6 books. Yes, I do have them, all of the books, but they're, you know, in a box somewhere in my room, which, well, let's just say there's, you can see the floor. There's a path from the door to my bed. So therefore the room's clean, and I'm going to stick with that story. But after that comes the City of Fallen Angels, City of Lost Souls, and City of Heavenly Fire. And this incorporates a new storyline that sort of jumps off of the last storyline, except with the bigger, badder villain, and he's trying to, of course, make like a superior race of Shadowhunters, except evil. So, you know, that sucks. And while everybody would say Clary is the main character all the way through these books, I'd almost say the character Simon, her best friend, is more the main character of the last 3 books. I mean, you can argue me on that, whatnot, but that's just a personal opinion. Now, the cool thing is while she was writing the last 3 books, because we couldn't get enough and wanted to see the love story of Clary and Jace go on, and so, well, anyways, while she's writing these last 3 books, she starts writing prequel books set a couple generations back. They're called the Infernal Devices, and they have the Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, and the Clockwork Princess. And it's basically based on this girl named Tessa Gray. And, well, it's sort of a coming into story. She's put in a world where she's more than human but doesn't know what she is, and lots of clockwork, you know, kind of incorporating, like taking demons and putting them into machines, sort of making them automatons. And so that's that whole story, but it introduces a lot of things that are essential to these books. Of course, they weren't essential, obviously, because the first 3 books were written before, but they they sort of just highlight these books. I mean, so you could read the Mortal Instruments series and not read the Infernal Devices, but it's just, you know, and maybe you'll be confused here or there, but it, you know, it doesn't really matter, but it's definitely cooler to read it all together. So while she was writing these 3 end books, she was writing these 3 Infernal Devices books. So she'd release one, and then she'd release one from the other series, and one from the other series, and one from the other series. So they kind of all played on each other. And, you know, towards the end, at the like last of the Mortal Instrument books, they see the 2 worlds meet. And so that's really kind of a cool concept there. All the books, great, yes. Now, from what I can tell, there is another series coming out, Shadowhunters, but it's not really about Clary. It seems to be centered more about a little girl. I'd have to check to see what her name was. Yes, I mean, and this is me saying, I remember details, but I'm not great with names. Names, yeah, I'll go like with a person for a year and not know what their name is. And I mean, it gets too late to ask, you know, hey, what's your name? And, you know, it's like, hey man, hey dude. I use a lot of nicknames, like hey sweetie, hey honey. It's nothing like, ooh, I like you. It's just I like nicknames, and that's just what I do. So, yeah, I usually try and get them in a situation where they have to introduce themselves to another person. So that works, but I'm horrible with names in any context. But anyways, it seems to be called, the new series is called The Dark Artifices, or Artifices? Anyways, they're supposed to feature Lady Midnight, Prince of Shadows, and the Queen of Air and Darkness. And I think that's going to incorporate fairies as the big bad. Just going with that there. That's what I think it's going. And I'm waiting for it to come out. The first book should be coming out in 2015. So I'm looking forward to that. But overall, you know, read these books, read this series, at least give City of Bones a chance, or watch the movie, and like I said, let me know what you think. If you watched the movie first, if you read the book first, I mean, how did that go for you? It's sometimes really hard for me to read something first because I do have this memory like that. For example, like The Hunger Games. The Hunger Games are, the first 2 movies anyways, are as close to a book as I have ever seen them. But like in the movie, there's this time where Katniss is trying to unload some apples on some explosives, and in the movie she takes 2 shots to do it, and like in the book she takes 3. So I'm stuck on those like little things, like no, she takes 3, and most people get irritated with me when I say yeah. But anyways, read these books. They're good books. Cassandra Clare, Mortal Instruments, City of Bones, start it off, watch the movie, and again, like I said, let me know. Good stuff. And I really don't want to stop it at 13. Okay, we're at 14 minutes. Bye, guys.